Hello all, welcome back to Learning Partner. If you are new, please do subscribe. This is another channel where you can directly connect with me. We have around 1000 plus members already who are working. We take live coding sessions and everything. To just get notified about those sessions, please do join this group. So if you are following my videos, just few days back, we have created a simple login application where we are able to register by using the API, and whatever the user we create by using those credentials, we are able to log in also. But when we work on an actual projects, normal our APIs are protected by just if someone got the URL, they cannot hit directly. If the user is not authenticated, API won't give their response because they are authenticated. So we along whenever we hit the API, we have to pass some token, and that token we get it from the login API, right? Because we work on the front end application. So front end and our backend application is a separate. So how does backend application will know that user is currently logged in and he is an authenticated user? So that's why on the backend side, they add a validation or a authentication mechanism by which they check the authenticity of the user. Like whatever the request they are getting, is it coming from the authenticated user or not? So how they decide? On their side, when we use the login API, they send some token. That token will be valid for particular time. And within that time, if we pass the token along with whatever the API call we are doing, in the header, we have to pass the token. So if we pass the token and the token is valid, API will give you the response. Otherwise, it will provide you 401 means unauthorized API response. That is how API will authenticate on their side. Fine. So as I said, on click of login, we hit the API. We in response of that API, we get the token. That token we have to store on our Angular application. And after login, what are the APIs we are going to make? We have to send that token along with the API in the headers. So that is nothing but interceptor comes in. Now, whenever you are making an API call, you can create a custom header also and you can pass it also. But wherever you are making the API call, so many places are there where you are going to write the API call function, either in your component, service, correct? But creating headers everywhere and then passing that token is not an easy thing. It will be code repetition. So Interceptor allows you to do that at one place. So a simple definition of interceptor is interceptor acts as a middleware between your Angular application and your API application. All the incoming request and the outgoing request will go through the interceptor. Fine. Means let's say you have component. From your component, you have created one API call function. Then you have service. From service, you write http.get or something. After that, it will go to the interceptor. Then actually API call will trigger. Okay. So this is what interceptor. Again, one more definition if you are preparing for the interview, because in interview you have to make interviewer clear, like, are you clear about the concept or not? One more familiar definition will be interceptor has a responsibility to monitor all the incoming and outgoing requests from your Angular application or a middleware. If you are a backend person, you might be familiar with the middleware word. So whatever the definition you are comfortable with, go ahead with that and proper explain also, like what are the scenarios we have to use the interceptor. Fine, we are going to discuss that. Now, in the previous video, I have used this login API. APIs I have used from over here only. That was user app. So same API we are going to use because this login API was giving me the, what do we say, token also. Fine. And this get all user API, let me show you this get all user API. This is my authenticated API. Test endpoint. So if you see over here, we are getting 401 unauthorized because this API is authenticated. If you don't send token along with your header, you won't get the response. So because this is unauthorized API, authorized API. So you have to send the token when you are hitting the API. Fine. So this API we have to point, but along with the token. Fine. So this is the same project I'm following. Let me just show you overview what we have done. So we have created three components: dashboard, layout, and the login. By default in the app component, we don't have anything, just the router outlet. If the user is not logged in, by default, only login component visible. See, we have created a default route, a login route, and one more route, which is empty. But the component is layout component. All the component which we are going to access after the login will be part of the children. The navbar is in our layout component. See, we have the navbar over here and at the bottom router outlet, because after login, this will be your parent component. So here we have the navbar and router outlet will display the activated route. and a simple dashboard component. So after login, we are navigating to the dashboard component. See the login component. It's a simple form. We have created class. That class we have binded to our form. Registration and the sign up was there. So everything is working over here. And once we log in, we are storing the whatever the response we get from in the local storage, and then we are navigating to the dashboard page. This is what we have done in the previous video. Now we are just going to use the same thing, but we have to implement the interceptor also. Now let's say in dashboard we have to integrate that API call, the user one. Wait, let me just get the URL. So over here, this is the URL which I want to integrate into my dashboard component. So again, we had created a service. So in service, we will create one more API call function that will be get users. First, I will tell you like if you don't pass the API token along with this API, what will happen? Then we will pass the token. So return this .http.get API call. This is our URL. Fine. I'm not going to create a class or interface. Simple API I'm going to write. So this is your API call function. Now this API call function we need to invoke from our dashboard component. So in dashboard component, we will implement our ng on init. Then we need to inject our particular user service. So user service is equal to inject. Again, those who are preparing for the interview now, make sure you know everything, whatever we got from Angular 16 to 17 to 18 to 19. Only few major things are there and you have to remember it. So this inject, we got it from Angular 16. Okay. So what we need to inject? User service we need to inject. This is same thing as we used to create service object into the constructor that we call dependency injection. It is similar to that. Now we implemented on init, so we have to create ng on it function, get users. Now from this function, we need to trigger our API call function from our service dot get users, subscribe, result colon any. I'm going with any because I didn't create class or interface. Again, an error block I'm writing. Fine. I'm just adding a debugger at both the places, in success also and in error also. Fine. And this function I'm calling on the page load, means in ng on in. Let's see what happens. Let's just save all. Fine. What was the credential? Let me check. Okay, again I need to create one more user. Let's say Rahul11 rahul11@gmail.com. Password 223344. Let me just put this credential over here. 223344. Fine. Sign up. Yeah, user registration success. Let's try to log in with the same now. So this is my email. Let's pass the wrong password so that I can show you that also. See, wrong credential it is saying because we have passed the wrong credential. If I pass the correct credential, user found navigating inside, we are able to log in. On the dashboard, that API call would have been made. But let's reload again and let's check it. Continue. See, we are in the error block and we have got 401 means unauthorized because we didn't send the token along with this API. So API call didn't get us the response. Fine. Now, whenever we are making this API call, we have to pass some header. So in the login API, we got the token. That token we are storing over here. See, in the local storage, we are storing the token. This token we need to pass along with the API call in the header section, means over here, request header, authorization bearer and the token name. This we have to pass. So for that, we have to create the interceptor. So let's create the interceptor. Again, just like everything, we can create interceptor by using command only. ng generate interceptor and your interceptor name. Fine. Again, I don't use the shortcut because I use for creating interface also. That's why. Let's open the new terminal. Now, just like in the service, we will create one more folder just to separate out interceptor. Let's open this in a new terminal. ng generate and let's say token interceptor I'm creating, because we are going to send the token, means outgoing request we are going to modify. So token interceptor I am creating. If you see now, this is what your interceptor. Previously, this interceptor was a service up to Angular 15. But after Angular 15, in Angular 16, we got this as an arrow function. This and guard also. Fine. So remember, as I said, na, in interview, you need to prepare this kind of question also. From which version interceptor is your arrow function? So from Angular 16, it is an arrow function now. Now, you have created your interceptor. Now, this interceptor, you have to register also. Just creating it won't execute. So you need to register this interceptor into your app config. You can see you have registered your provide HTTP client. Now here inside that, with HTTP interceptor, you need to write with interceptor, sorry, with interceptor, and here you have to provide your interceptor name. Now, if you see over here, we can pass array of interceptor. As I said, multiple interceptor we can create. So that's why array symbol and token interceptor or function name. This is how you register your interceptor. Fine. So in your app config, once you create the interceptor, you need to register it. After that, over here, whatever the API call you make, na, that you will get it over here. So now we have to, whatever the request which will get created from your service, that you will get it over here. Now, whatever the request you got, that you need to modify. So when we are logging, you are storing whole data into your local storage in log data. Fine. If you see the log data, in log data, we have got the object, and in that object, we got the token. But while storing the data, we are converting into string. So again, we need to convert it back to the object format. So first, let's read the token. Logged data is equal to local storage dot get item, and our key name. So our key name is log data. So this will go over here. Then if log data is not defined, obviously we need to add a check because we are reading from the local storage. Always add a null check. If it is not null, we have to convert it constant. What do we say? Token is equal to JSON dot parse method. To convert string data into again object format, we have to use this JSON dot parse method. So here we will pass this. Then in token data, we will get everything. From that, we need the token. Fine. So, well, let's not add this also, because we know that we are not going to access this. It will give us the error. Anyway, let it be. So we will get the token data over here. After that, we need to make we have to extract the token from here. So constant token is equal to token data dot. If you see the local storage data, you got the object. Inside that, token is the property. So token data dot token. So here you will get the token. Now, whatever the API call, whatever the request you are going to get, that you need to clone and create a new one. So constant new request data is equal to req dot clone, round bracket, curly bracket. Now, while cloning, you need to add your custom header also. So set header method, colon, curly bracket. What you need to pass? See. Now, what you need to pass along with the token, API team will tell you. If the API is developed with Java, they might ask you to send the token with authorization token, bearer slash, again with .NET also same. But it depends on the API team from which key they are reading the token. So like that we have to pass. But normally 80 to 70% time it will be authorization. Sometimes API person will change to authorization to something else, but you have to ask them like in what property I need to send the token in your header. Fine. So these are my API. So I'm using authorization. Fine. Authorization is the key, colon. Then I need to pass bearer. Then here you need to pass your token. So template literal I'm using. So whatever the token you get, that token I will pass it over here. So see here what we are doing, we are creating a new request, and while creating a new, whatever the request we got, that we are cloning it, and while cloning it, we are adding some our headers also. And now this request we have to trigger. Where it will be the constant we have created after that here. Fine. So this new request I will be cloning over here. But again, same thing we need to over here. If the token is not there, we have to send the original request. Right? So this is your API, your interceptor. If the logged in user is there, you will get the data over here. So if data is there, you are converting the string format data into object. From that, you are extracting the token. Whatever the request you got, you cloned it along with your header, and then you are finally making the API call. From here, actually API call will trigger. Fine. Let's just add a debugger and see this in action. So whatever the API call you are going to make, for every API call, your token will execute. See now how it will happen. Let me save both the file. Let me just log off. So by default, we are on the login page now. So when you log in also, that time also your interceptor will execute. As I said, for every API call, your interceptor will execute. See now, on login, see your interceptor function got executed. But currently user is not logged in, so it will go to the else and or without modifying your URL request, it is going to execute. User found navigating inside. Fine. Again, your interceptor got executed because we navigated to the dashboard, and on the dashboard, on the page load, we are making that API call. So if you see the request, you see get all user API call is getting triggered. Okay. So now user is logged in. So we got the logged in data. See, in the logged in data, we got string type of data that we are going to convert into object. So in the token data, you see object data and token.data. See, we are reading the token. That token we are passing along with the header. Continue. Yeah. So see, now your subscribe block got executed and you got the response. Now, if you check the network in get all user in the header, you can see authorization, bearer, and the token what we have sent is over here. So this is how we implement the interceptor and we pass the token along this. Okay. So as I said, whenever we are authenticating, whenever our APIs, most of the project, you won't find a single project where your APIs are not authenticated. All the APIs, whenever we work on a proper industrial project, all APIs are almost authenticated. So interceptor is that much important. You have to know interceptor. What is the use of interceptor? How we send the token along with the interceptor? This is very common intro question also. And when working, this is very first thing you are going to do. Before starting everything, once you've done the login page, next thing you have to do this only. Because obviously APIs will be authenticated. Without login and without passing the token, no one will give you the response. Fine. So token like means this interceptor is that much important. So what we have done, we have created interceptor, we have cloned the request, whatever you got, and we have injected our headers, and this token we have to register into our app config. Fine. Now, with the older version also, we used to do the same thing. But instead of now, it's an arrow function. But at that time, it was a service. Fine. But remain logic will be same. Just little bit syntax was different over there. There we used to have app module. Now we have app config. But logic was same. There is no change in your logic or the scenario based. Fine. So I hope you are finding these videos helpful. If you are liking my content, please do like and subscribe. I will be coming back with more like reset token, refresh token, login with what do we say? Reset password with token and everything. In email ID, you will get the token. All these things we are going to implement one by one. Fine. Thank you.